Or a lot of other lives? Or an entire nation?
Of course not.
Then shut up.
I will remember this moment when the birds come.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You'll not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Did I see mages? What?
I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders. I find that sodding fool, I'll have him in the Legion. Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order.
Can a city function like this?
See, that's why I don't want you Surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry.
Blight is coming, I need Orzamar's assistance.
Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here.
Sounds like Balin and Harrowmont are the ones to talk to.
They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate.
I should get going.
Yes, you should.
Did you see that? I cannot believe what this city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive.
This Balin, is that King Endrin's son?
Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir.
Why is there such hate for Balin?
Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along.
How did Endrin die?
He died in bed after his eldest son was murdered, and the Assembly condemned his second son for it. I cannot blame him for preferring to join the ancestors in eternal peace, if Balin didn't murder him himself.
Is Harrowmont qualified to rule?
He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less.
Who are you?
I am Narav Helmi, 3rd daughter of the 2nd matron of House Helmi. And you, stranger? What brings you to Orzammar at such a time?
I'm Archara, a Grey Warden.
A Grey Warden? That explains why they allowed you past the gates. What kind of aid do you mean?
I have a treaty compelling Orzammar.
A blight? Now? But our warriors are killing each other in the streets. I'm sorry, stranger. I fear there will be no aid for you in Orzammar. If you seek Lord Harrowmont's support, I suggest you talk with his trusted advisor, Dulin Ferender. He might be able to get you an audience.
ancestors guard my son for... I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them.
Do you want me to go look for him?
How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself.
I'm a Grey Warden.
Warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers. Please, find me as soon as you return.
I hope that is someone being murdered and not simply singing.
Maker's blessing on you, sister.
I didn't think dwarves believed in the Maker.
I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
Whose permission do you need?
The Shaper controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting.
You want me to talk to him for you?
Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please, let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not from around here.
Yes, you could say that.
Oh, wonderful. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
A circle of
I've been
magi?
trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Do you want me to ask them?
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smith caste. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Ferticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Hey, what's down there?
The Diamond Quarter.
Legion of the Dead sighted battling Darkspawn near Orzammar. They have no orders while throne stands empty. Make Harrowmont your king now.
It shall be done.
News of the hour. Does Lord Harrowmont think that Orzammar can hold off the Dwarves forever? The Assembly demands an answer.
The old shape rate.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories? Warden, I'm outraged. Thief in the shape rate. What have we been reduced to?
Did you get a good look at him?
Did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine. He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value. Disgusting. Someone stole from the Shaper. Yes, that's the...
Oh, well, I already accepted the quest. I didn't mean it.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories.
Shaper Memories?
The Shaperate guards Orzammar's knowledge. We have preserved in Lyrium all of the records of Dwarven history. The memories record all. They are how we know to which family a child owes life, how we trace lost ties. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good or bad.
I'd like your permission to open a chantry.
That is an odd request, especially for one so new to our city.
I come on behalf of Brother Burkle, a cleric of Redcliffe.
I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition?
The chantries... What? The chantry's charities could greatly aid Orzammar.
What sort of charities do you mean? Traditionally, that is their extended family's responsibility, but sometimes people fall through the cracks. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more? We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kalsharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with darkspawn.
What are the deep roads?
They were once our highways beneath the mountains. Now the darkspawn claim them and few venture there, except your order, who enter the deep roads when they retire, so they can die slaughtering as many darkspawn as possible.
How did you lose your golems?
The Paragon Caridon, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the darkspawn. One golem is worth 12 dwarves in battle, but Caridon's tag is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more.
Golems like
yes.
this?
We have only a few dozen left in Orzammar, and I do not recognize this one. Where did you find it? Every golem is precious to us. We'd pay a good sum for a new find.
I'd sooner jump into a pit of lava.
Unfortunate. Was there anything else? I must tell the rest of the Shaperate about this discovery.
Where is Kalsharok?
At the other side of the old empire. During the last blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kalsharok is the only other city to outlast the blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us.
Let's talk enough history. Let's talk basics.
I will settle your mind if I can, Warden.
Let's go back to my first questions.
Speak your mind.
Sorry
we were a great empire once,
nope.
But we lost too many battles. We lost...
We learned enough. Oop.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research.
What kind of research?
I was looking for something about the Orton Tig. It was lost during the last blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Ortan, who was training in Orzammar when the tide fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads.
I'm Grey Warden. I'm not afraid of the deep roads.
A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
Gotta pick up my quests. Oh, so if you chose the Dwarven noble ancestry, you would be Balin's brother. The one that got blamed, like that lady that was talking about it. Like, you get blamed and become a warden in that story, but since you didn't choose him, you just die.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring?
Any date against the Blood?
Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now, the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now.
Can I talk to Balin?
You must understand, Harrowmont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper.
What must I do?
Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude.
What kind of evidence?
Harrowmont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harrowmont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrowmont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes.
Where did you get these promissory notes?
That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty.
Isn't there someone you could report them to?
Normally, the Shapers would handle this sort of accusation. They are the scholars who manage our laws, histories, and genealogies. They are the final arbiters of all disputes in Orzammar. Unfortunately, the Shaper of Memories is the most important among them, and his grandfather was Lord Harrowmont's aunt's first cousin. Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion.
He holds a distant relative over his duty.
I guess I can't expect you surfacers to understand the importance of family in Orzammar. The Shaper is biased, and if you want Prince Balin's help, you'll have to show where your loyalties lie. Will you do it?
I'll have to think about it.
Don't expect this offer to last. If my prince hears you swore allegiance to his enemy, he won't be so friendly next time. I will be here if you change your mind. I hope you... If you want Balin to support you... Excellent. I have the promissory... Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
Yeah.
The assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions.
Hello.
Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the assembly of the clans. Only dashers and occasional guests of state are allowed in.
I'm a Grey Warden.
Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne.
Who has the authority to aid me?
I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
As you...
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help.
I have a treaty obliging
That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harrowmont cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties.
If Archara wants me to besmirch Harrowmont's reputation.
I see. Well, it hardly increases my confidence to hear that you went to him first. I assume you refused?
I'm looking for a better
offer. If you want
offer.
Lord Harrowmont's assistance, first you'll have to prove he can trust you.
How can I prove?
That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down.
So you want me to enter the proving in Harrowmont's name?
It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
I don't want to start picking
But I'm
sides.
afraid your only choice is to wait until there's a winner. Lord Harrowmont cannot risk his life working with someone of unproven loyalties. If you change your mind, let me know. The proving is this afternoon, and Lord Harrowmont could certainly use you on his side.
Very well.
Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzammar's memories?
You look at this promissory paper for me.
These are Harrowmont lands promised here. But these are not the deals we approved at the Shaperit. Where did you get these?
Lord Harrowmont's personal library.
If you wish, you can make your words as false as the documents you bear.
The papers are forged?
Not entirely. There were 2 promised deals, but their terms differed significantly from what is presented here. It appears the scripter altered the dates and locations of the agreements to make them identical.
Is Chi related to Harrowmont?
He is a kinsman, yes. If you count to the 6th degree of remove, I am related to every noble lineage still represented in Orzammar. I can even trace my descendant directly to House Sigmund, which lost its tide to the Darkspawn 13 generations ago.
Thank you, I need to have some
You
words.
are an outsider, Warden, but not outside the law. I hope you will not do anything to challenge the stability of Orzammar.